Hi friends, and welcome to my little art studio tour. I hope you liked that little intro and that 360 view of the room. But when you first walk in and turn to the left, there is this closet that you will see, and it has a mixture of both art stuff and personal stuff, like shoes and extra clothes and extra bags that we can't fit in the trailer. But I also have some extra art supplies and camera supplies in that white drawers thing on the right. I have a lot of miscellaneous and kind of junk stuff that I need to work through. And then up top, on the top shelf, I have some extra electronic things that I don't use as often, but I keep it up out of the way up there. Then in this kind of IKEA kitchen island, there's two drawers. This first one, I have some of my packing tape and extra washi tape and some extra twine for packing. And then in the second drawer, I have my stock of my stationery, so like my sticky notes and notepads. Keep those all in there. Then I have these wooden drawers that I've organized with a little bit of washi tape. They have all of my 5x7 prints, so I've just put on the name of each print to keep it organized. So then when you move more to the right, the other half of the wall, there's these interior shelves that I have filled with loads of things. The top shelf, I have my makeup bag because I do my makeup in the morning in the studio, and then I have a basket full of my stamping supplies that I use for packaging and other things. Of course, I have to have my favorite tea readily available. And then in this basket, I have all of my natural ink making supplies. That's something that I've started to dabble in a little bit, and I keep them all up there. Then we come to this second shelf. I have a couple of nature books for reference. And in this wooden box I thrifted has a lot of my extra acrylic paint. I don't use that too often, so I keep that in there. I keep my iPad here in this little case. Then up top here, I keep readily available my thank you postcards, my business cards that I put into my orders, and then the current washi tape that I use for packaging. In these wooden drawers, I keep a lot of my pressed flowers that I currently have. I do some pressed flower art that I sell on my shop as well as just for personal use, or I slip into orders sometimes. Here I have this little felted wren that I love. I'll put the maker down below in the description box. In this thrifted tin, I have my gouache that I use. I use that quite frequently. And then finally, this bottom shelf is just loaded with books. I love collecting books, as you may well know, but a lot of them are nature books that I collect for reference. Most of them are nature books, because those are some of my favorite. Then I also have art books by some of my favorite artists for inspiration as well as just learning. And then up top I also have a lot of my devotional books and notebooks that I use for journaling. Here I have some extra sketchbooks and a couple of other nature books as well. And then to the right, in this little thrifted basket, I keep my most accessible electronics like camera charger, extra batteries, my hard drive, all that fun stuff. And then below these shelves, I have my Alex drawers from IKEA. This has a lot of my current artwork, physical originals that I have done or I'm currently working on, my watercolor paper, packaging supplies, all of that fun stuff. So this top drawer, I have all of my finished originals that I keep on the left there, and then my watercolor paper, as well as some unfinished sketches and things that I need to work on. Below that is my tissue paper for packaging orders. That was originally designed by me. And below that, I have my thank you stickers that I put on the packages. Extra note cards I have for when people mark their order as a gift for someone else and have a little gift note. Those are my flower seed paper that I use to wrap my note cards and postcards. And then I have a little bit of pressed flower stickers that I put on my orders as well. Below that, I have my largest prints that I have available. They are 9 by 12. I need to cut those to size, actually. Below that, I have some extra frames and then the plastic sleeves that I use for packaging my prints. On this hook here, I have this little artist smock that I thrifted a couple weeks ago. I have yet to use it, but I am excited to when I get more into painting. I also have a linen apron here, and I keep all of my extra bags and tote bags and my purse on these bottom hooks as well. So when you keep moving to the right, you come to my workspace, my big old desk that I come to work at and paint at. The desk is actually a dining table from IKEA, but I just really needed a large workspace, so that one worked the best. Then I have my gallery wall full of all the art that I love and inspires me from some of my favorite artists on Instagram, or thrifted pieces that I've found. So these leather sketchbooks are some of my favorite. Those two are from Dustling and Hart, and then this middle big one is from Forest 9, and then this vintage book sketchbook was made by the Sketchbook Shop Co. And then these little owls were made by a lovely artist that I will link below. So on my desk I have these IKEA drawers. Most of it is stuff that I don't readily use all that often. Like that's a junk drawer, some extra sticky notes, another junk drawer, ink that I don't use all that often, but I would like to experiment with more. My old hard drives that are already full. And then I have some oil pastel palettes down there, some crayons, and an extra watercolor palette. This little shelf I have next to those wooden drawers. I have some thrifted books that I love, some graphite pencils, some extra watercolor brushes. This little bowl has pencil sharpener, erasers, and little binder clips for when I use my sketchbook. And then this is my bottle of natural ink that I made when I made fireweed ink. You can watch that video. I'll link that in the cards above. And then I have my extra palettes that I use when I paint. One is a plate from Target, actually, and then the other ones I've purchased from other shops. And then this desk lamp you see here is my canvas lamp. It's from a brand called Shop Canvas Co. You can put your phone up there and it creates for easy filming over top when you're painting and stuff like that. It has 3 settings for brightness and like natural light, cool light, all sorts of things. It's a wonderful, wonderful lamp, and I absolutely love it. Highly recommend. Then here I have my most favorite art supplies, my Sugar House Ceramic Co. palette and art cup and wooden brushes. And then, of course, I always love to have fresh flowers on my desk. It's such a big inspiration for me, and it makes me happy. So that is my workspace. And then when you move again to the right, I have some more wooden drawers, a little metal cart from IKEA, as well as some crates full of books and shipping supplies. On this first shelf, I have my diffuser, which I like to use quite often. I have my scissors and like miscellaneous utensils or tools like pencils, markers, pens. I have some extra large brushes there. This second shelf, sorry, it's quite messy. This is my mister that I use for my water-activated packaging tape. I have all my most used colored pencils in that bag. I have my watercolor palettes here and the reusable washcloths that I use for wiping off my paint when I'm painting. I have some extra watercolor paint back there, all of my colored pencils. And that's it. Lastly, this bottom drawer has extra ink for my printer, some artist loft markers, some palette knives, extra micron pens, and extra packaging tape, as well as some other art supplies that I use. In these wooden crates, I have a bulk of my children's book collection that is ever growing. I recently had to put a chunk away into a box down in the basement because I couldn't fit them in the crates anymore. But this is a good selection and some of my favorites that I've found so far. Most of them are found thrifting. Some of them have been bought new. Down below I have some more nature books and a couple of other fiction books that I've been reading. Here are some more children's books as well as some magazines that I find inspiring. So on this little wooden box thing, I don't know what you would call it, I keep all of my shipping envelopes. They're all, well, mostly all, from Eco Enclose, one of my favorite companies for shipping supplies. They use all recycled materials, and they are a wonderful, wonderful brand. Then up top here, I keep a little whiteboard calendar that I try to keep updated every month or so, put new goals and any major things that I need to remember for that month that need to get done. I recently got these wooden drawers from my grandmother-in-law. She was getting rid of them, and I was like, thank you, I love these. They will work perfect. I currently moved over a lot of my bigger 8x10 prints and 8x8 prints into these little drawers, as well as my pressed flowers and handmade paper that I've purchased for framing those pressed flowers. Then when you keep on moving right, this is my husband's section of the office/studio. So that's his bookshelf with a lot of, I think, all of his books, his own books and things that he's collected and things that he loves. And then when you move to the right, this little corner, if you watched my latest vlog, you'll see we just recently redid this little corner. We used to have a guest bed here, but we were able to move that downstairs and put a little reading corner. I absolutely love how it turned out. I've got to be able to put more of the art that I love and that inspires me to make this a little cozy reading nook. The chair we thrifted, as well as that little accent pillow. And then we have this rug that I found on Facebook Marketplace. I absolutely love it. It has all my favorite colors in it. And it just suits this room so perfectly. So then when you keep on moving right, I have my stock shelf, basically. This wooden shelf is from IKEA. I think it's like $35, so it's a great affordable option for storage. Up top, I keep some of the extra stock that I'm not currently using, or like extra envelopes and stuff like that in these little containers. And then, like I said, I have all of my note card sets, all organized by their names and things like that in these little plastic tubs. And then I have my 2 postcard sets here, my sticker sheets, and my single stickers as well. And then down below I have all of my notebooks, my new alphabet card sets, and some tea towels. Then down at the bottom I keep all of my workout gear down there for when I do that some mornings. And then on the back of the door, I put this basket that I recently thrifted, and it actually works perfect for putting like my outgoing packages, and keeps them out of the way and puts them in a cute little like mail basket. I love it. And so friends, that is the entire art studio. I hope you enjoyed looking at all the little tiny corners of this cozy space that I love so much, and I hope that it gives some inspiration. Well, thank you so much for coming along with me for this little art studio tour. I hope you enjoyed and maybe gathered some inspiration for your own space. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for watching, and I will see you next week, friends. Bye.